I didn't want to make an announcement. She just went out. She's going to come back. I saw Alexa Lavoie from Rebel News in Hawaii in the backdrop for a second. That was the surprise guest, which I didn't want to publicly announce, but if she comes back in, I'll publicly announce it. She's back in. Okay, good. I see her. Hold on. Let me share. Everyone share this out. We got Alexa Lavoie, Rebel News in Hawaii. And on Monday, I might have another guest talking about what's going on in Hawaii. No, you know what? I'm not going to take any chances here. Hold on. I'm just going to tweet this out real quick. Come on into Rumble. At The Voice. Alexa is here from Hawaii. Boom. Okay, and we'll get that out now, right now. Alexa, are you good to come in? Turn your phone. There you go. Okay.
Do it like that.
Sorry. Yeah, do it like that. Come on. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Don't worry. First of all, your audio's good. Okay. You look tan. Okay. You look tanner than me. That's a little, but my light. Okay, so everybody who doesn't know who Alexa Lavoie is, journalist at Rebel News, has done some great work. You might remember her from such assaults as getting shot in the leg by RCMP officers with their tear gun canisters at the Ottawa trucker convoy. Justin Trudeau, egregiously rude with her, not responding to her question about whether or not Canada's going to go Israel's way and have jab after jab after jab. What else? You do good work, Alexa. Okay, so you're in Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
What is going on in Hawaii? Oh, crap. You see, I wasted too much time talking, and now I think she froze up. Alexa, if you can hear us, you froze up. Damn you, Starlink! Oh, okay,
sorry.
Hold on. Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry. There is a really huge problem of network, and this is all the way to Lahaina, to Onokowai, and all the other village afterwards. It seems like the electric pole have completely burned down of the roadways, Lahaina, and so there is like a terrible network. It's why just in front of me there is a truck where they give free power and the network for the people. So they put the Starlink, but as you can see, like there is a lot of people on the park, so I'm not alone. So it's probably sometimes it can be like overflowed by people. Yep. So maybe the video can cut.
Well, no, if the video cuts, at least we'll let you know. But so this is a map of what is this? Which island is this? This is Maui.
Maui.
And
yeah.
So the Lahaina fires are up here, where we see on the left hand, northwest side. How close are you able to get? Because the word on the street is that there's basically a media blackout within 12 miles or something.
Mm-hmm. So right now the main road is reopened. So you can pass with your car, but there is a big fence that surrounds Lahaina, and there is military who are protecting the entrance of the road. There is also police everywhere, so you cannot even get close to where everything have been burned down, and especially because what they say is like there is bodies that is not been recovered yet, so they don't want people to go there, step on it, or like just to protect the area. But you cannot even like go close to film, like even, and media are not still allowed to go. So I don't know what will happen, but they are pretty strict about it, and I know that if you go close, you can be arrested.
And I suspect that is also true. You can't get there by water if you decided to get on a boat from where you are and try to make your way in via water.
But I didn't try, but it seems that they will not allow you, because I know that some of the residents told me that they did recover some dead body from the water, mm-hmm. because some people tried to escape the fire going into the water, but some people I think drowned because they tried, because someone was explaining that it was so hot outside and was burning not only your throat but your eyes and everything, so people were trying to keep their head under the water and sometimes trying to breathe with like straw or something like that they had, but probably some of them like unfortunately drowned into the water.
Are there any updated numbers on the estimated number of people that died?
I saw yesterday that the mainstream have reported 111. Talking with residents, they say bullshit. They say that there is way more people who die. There is way more to come, and this is really not the number that they think it is, because some of them like really experienced to see all the dead body in the street afterwards, or same like trying to escape.
And so and when they say way more, are they talking like 300 plus, or they don't have an idea? They just know it's not 111.
Like as I say, just word of mouth information. But you know, like some people were talking about, it would probably result in between like 450
Wow.
to 1,000. They don't know yet. As I say, I just talked with a man that his ex-wife is still missing. So the daughter went to do a DNA test to make sure that if they find the bodies, they can actually identify the bodies, because since they are burned, they have only the DNA test to know if who they are.
I'm going to ask you a number of questions on a number of, call them conspiracy theories, or you know, things that are circulating right now. One is that that they were delaying water for residents to put out fires on their property. Do you have any details about the stories of, I forget the guy's name, it starts with an M, but the delays in allowing water to be used or to be dispensed?
But what I was able to understand is like, because the power was out, the powers bring the water. So when that happened, there was no power in Lahaina. So they suspect, because you need to understand that the power line is so old, it's really not well maintained, and they are really fragile. So what they was explaining to me is like, usually it's something that happen all the time. A wind pass by and they have no power. So they used to have no power they started to have no power the night before. So Lahaina had no power, so no water. So it's why it brings some more difficulty towards like trying to extinguish the fire. But the fire was declared around 6:37 on the morning of the 8th of August. Around 9 o'clock on the morning, a press release from the fire department say that they were contained 100% the fire. Afterwards, what they didn't like maybe consider is like the wind, the tail of Dora hurricane was coming by on the afternoon. And so the bushfire, what they used to have they say we usually have that like every 3 weeks. Nobody's panicking about like bushfire. But the bushfire seems to have been caused by a power line who fall down. And you know, the electric company, it's Hawaiian Electric. And Hawaiian Electric probably knew that the power line and everything is so old and so not well maintained that of course something can happen anytime with those power lines. But anyway, the two major owner of Hawaiian Electric is BlackRock and the Vanguard company.
You know this for a fact. I mean, this is not something that's going to be factually incorrect. It's BlackRock and Vanguard, two companies or two names that we hear quite a lot of. They own the Hawaiian Electric Company.
Yeah. So anyway, if you go and you Google it, see CNN, and you have like the selling of like the action, and you can see the 10 major owner, because there is many of them. Like there are many who own part of Hawaiian Electric, but the two biggest one on top of the list is BlackRock and the Vanguard group.
Yeah.
It's what I was able to find online today, and it's really unfortunate because that happened. That created a fire. The sirens didn't go off, and the person who take the final decision is Herman and it's the person in charge for the security emergency department. And by the way, they found out that this man doesn't have any background of dealing with the emergency or disaster emergency. He did his study in law in political science, and he doesn't have anything like on the field as experience for that. So the sirens didn't go off because what they say as a reason, because of me or hurricane, usually like when the sirens go off, the people will go into the land to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So what they say is like if they were alerting people with the sirens, people will run towards the fire. That is completely insane. When you know that the fire was so big.
Alexa, are you saying the rationale for why they didn't sound the alarms literally was deliberate because they didn't want people running into the fire?
Yeah. So they say that we didn't want the people like to run towards the hill of the mountain where the fire was. Because usually it's what you do when you have a hurricane or a tsunami. But the sirens is made for multiple different reasons, as wildfire, as a terrorist threat, as a flooding, or other like kind of natural and human disaster. And that time, what they give as a reason is like they were afraid that people were running towards the fires. And this is completely insane because when you see out the video, the fire was like surrounding the whole village, the whole town. And that is like people were just like saying this is bullshit reason, especially because the sirens, they test it every single month at 11:45. I think it's the second or the first of the month. And they ask the citizen, can you please like report if you don't hear the sirens? And they say that the sirens is really, really loud, you know? And anyway, the sirens didn't go off. By multiple persons say that no police officer came with like with big speakers saying like, get out of here, get out of here. They didn't see any authority coming and like telling people to evacuate the town. Unfortunately, Lahaina is like a really middle-wage people, workers. A lot of elderly people were staying in, tower of apartment. And during that day, because of the wind, the school shut down. And all the children was at home by themselves because the parent was working that day. And so there is a lot of children bodies. I don't know how many, but it seemed that according to residents, we will find a lot of baby and children bodies probably like burned, just because children doesn't know like how to escape. They had no power. They had no warning of what is going on. And what people were explaining to me is like the houses are really close to each other, so the fire can spread really easily between each other. So it's really unfortunate because there is so much that of negligence to cause like this terrible disaster.
So it's not the case that the alarm didn't sound because electricity was cut out. It was an actual. I just pulled up an article.
No.
It was a decision that they didn't want people.
It was a decision. The sirens that is the most biggest sirens emergency in the world is plugged to a battery, not power. So this is all in the website of the actual sirens who actually tell you what it is. and it's plugged to a battery, and the battery should start the siren same as if you have no power. And by the way, if you come back to 2018, when they did send in January a fake text message to everybody in Hawaii saying that they have a ballistic missile that will hit
Yep.
Hawaii, how come they were able to send that to every single body in Hawaii, but they were not capable to warn at least village next to send people to say, warn them, go and help evacuate Lahaina? How come that didn't happen? Because the main biggest town where the network was working, I think it was working because they are not close from here. It's about 40 minutes drive. In 40 minutes drive, you can maybe, when you heard the first time that the fire was uncontrollable, you had the time to reach the town and just say, hey, get out of here. But people were just sitting in their home, and they were just like, I was talking with a man yesterday, Elijah, and it was like, I was in my apartment with my girlfriend, and we didn't know what happened because the sky turned black, completely like if it was like night. And when we opened the door, we saw the birds completely getting crazy and leaving the place. And at that time, we say, we need to get out of here now. And he said, like, I had just the time to take my car from the field because the field was in fire. And a minute later, my car will have been like completely like burned down, and I will be like trying to escape by feet.
It's wild. Okay, another thing that some people are talking about. Explosions. Are you hearing stories of explosions from Lahaina?
I saw a video. I have like one person who said that at one point it just like explode, but you need to understand that if a fire is electric, it can create an explosion. Like if you have like the
yeah, it was only a question that they were, people were showing pictures of like cars that were incinerated and molten metal, and I saw a video of an explosion on CNN. So I mean that's understandable that things were actually exploding. Whether or not it was intended to facilitate or just consequences of. So first of all, the people who did evacuate that you're speaking to, how did they evacuate and where did they go?
So a lot of people have escaped by the main road, but the main road it had like so much traffic, and some people told me that they were blocked by the police at one place. I cannot confirm that. This is what someone told me, that the traffic was blocked, and so people had like a hard time to escape the place, and so some people were passing by field to escape the road. I don't know if that is true, but I can just tell you what I heard so far from a citizen. And but we saw like a lot of car like in line in some of the footage. So I need to confirm that with the authorities, maybe the police officer. I'm here until like probably Monday. Joe Biden is coming on Monday. Would be interesting to see because a lot of people, and I tell you, a lot of people doesn't like him at all. Well, they don't like Biden at all.
I mean, not to say that there are some people, saying you get what you vote for, consequences of Hawaii that voted, I don't know, 55% Democrat, but nobody deserves this, period. Mm-hmm. More questions. Yep. Have you looked into the 15-minute city rumor that Maui was featured in some tech, not tech show, but tech talk earlier this year? And some of the theories are that the land has to get appropriated by government or private interests in order to facilitate turning it into a 15-minute city?
At this point, this is still a rumor. It's still a conspiracy theory. because well, we know that the mayor is really involved in like sustainable houses. It's been like to so many conference about it to make like a sustainable house. But what he was saying is like the challenge is like they have old house infrastructure, and to change that it would be costly and difficult. This is what it was saying. But for the 15-minute city, I'm just wondering, like, Lahaina is a small town to compare of like the superficie of like all the island. So do they really want to do that for one place instead of doing that for all the island? They will not burn like all the islands for making like 15-minute city everywhere. So at this point, like if you think it really reasonably, I think it's mostly a huge negligence, and now they try to cover up their negligence on not responding correctly to the disaster.
I'm going to pull up an AP fact check on the 15-minute city once we leave, but I think the reason people are coming to that, look, at people are black-pilled and they're connecting dots that might not be there. The reason that I've heard for which people are coming to that conclusion is, have you heard anything about people saying that they're getting calls from brokers or agents to buy their property, their recently incinerated property? Has anybody confirmed that that's actually happening to you?
So I saw online that some people were saying that their property was not, so they were not allowed to have the insurance because they had a zoning violation. Yeah. I'm skeptical because talking with some of the residents, not only no, they didn't, like they tried to call the insurance, but the insurance was just like referring, like taking their name there and just passing on the information to another like department, and they would call you afterwards. But the thing is, usually you need to investigate of what happened before denying your insurance, Mm-hmm. And someone told me that if you are denied insurance because of the zoning, usually you can get a part of it because it's only a part of the insurance that is not respected. But a lot of people say that they will not be surprised because sometimes you have like a 3-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom house, and you transfer it on the 4-bedroom. So now if you don't declare that, you are actually violating some rules.
Well, and for those who don't know, who may not have heard this, apparently some people were saying that they were already being notified by their insurance companies that their claims were not going to be honored because apparently they were non-compliant for whatever the reason. They were not compliant with regulations. Zoning. You have not spoken to anybody personally who says that's occurred for them.
That's why I'm trying to get in touch with some people like who actually tell that as a fact on social media, and try to reach out to them to really have the proof of that, to be able to get that information out and say, yes, this is a fact, I have it as a proof. But until now, I have nobody who told me that they have been declined yet. But what they say to me is like they heard from other people from the community who have been contacted by investigator to buy the property.
Okay.
And what they are telling to each other is like to take the information about them to know who wants their land. Interesting.
Well, and now I could also understand maybe how that rumor, if it is indeed not true, could have been started, where if they're getting calls from prospective developers, they say, you might not get your insurance claim, and then it becomes sort of a repeated broken telephone, like, a broker said I might not get my claim honored, and some people, then it turns into, they're not honoring their insurance claims, which seems premature anyhow. But all right, cool. What else? Is there anything else that I forgot to ask?
I would say that right now at Rebel, we decided to help them. So we are now crowdfunding if people want to donate. We spend, I think, I don't know how many thousands of dollars. We have Starlings too that we bring because network is something really difficult. So if people want to donate through our crowdfunding for the community, we are on the ground. Ezra just went to buy supply already with Lincoln J, and they went with someone from the camp for knowing what they need and what we can provide and what we can buy for them. So if people want to contribute, you can donate at thetrutheboutmaui.com. So on this website, we will also put our report. So if you want to be updated about what is going on, and and by the way, I don't know if you know, but the main person in charge who chose to not sign to get off the sirens resigned yesterday. Um, and this is just a day after being questioned about why did they decide to not start the sirens. And some people ask him if he regrets, and he said he doesn't regret to not have start the sirens to warn the citizen. And it's really sad because some people, like I just talked with a man today that his aunt burned. So she burned inside of her apartment. It's really, really sad. And her mother have her own place like completely burned down. And now, like as I say, like right now it's just a survival like kind of way. They try to find shelter for people to have a place to live. And I would say like there is tents everywhere. People are living in the tents. At least like they have like good people. The community is really good to help people and everything. And it's coming from the citizen there. They say do not give to FEMA or Red Cross because they were not there. They were not helping us, and now they come here and they try to get credit for what the community have built. Mm-hmm. And they are really, really mad at it. Everybody, as I say, like it's a really good atmosphere. I saw like so many helpful and open heart people, just like a beautiful community who come together and try to get the best out of all of this. But as I say, a lot of people are really mad. A lot of people are really hostile by media. I heard that they were not really well treated by some outlet. Who, like someone said to me that one of the outlet, I don't know which one, but came to them and just asked, so what about the dead bodies? What is it out? And he was like, do you have a heart? Do you have a, like, they were so mad that they just come and ask really harsh question, and you just like these people are in the worst moment in their life, and we came here and we don't force anybody. I'm actually engaged in conversation, and I just ask, do you want to share your story? You're not obligated, but if you want, I'm giving you like the platform to maybe ask for help or just to tell the story, because it's with all the story of everybody we will be able to reconstruct of what really happened that day. Because without them, who knows the real story? It's not the authority. They were not there. They just, it seemed that the authority is just trying to really cover the negligence that happened. And it seems that the sirens would have saved countless lives.
Yeah. You mentioned that I did have one more question there. I think I'm going to have forgotten it. Hold on, Alexa, I'm going to bring up the screen where it's thetrutheaboutmaui.com, and you can go check out everything there. I've given everybody the link.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. People are getting food now from where? Like, how are they getting food, clean drinking water, that stuff?
So it's all kind of donation from mostly people, or donation from Venmo. They use a lot of Venmo for getting money from other place, like other country in the world. From now, they have some people who cook at night. At least people have a warm meal, and they have like supply for babies. They have like food, fruit. They have help, medical help. I also saw someone that was giving acupuncture and massage for people who were stressed out. Um, as I say, like they are really good at what they do, and it's not only one station. They have station a little bit everywhere in multiple like town as Lahaina. But I heard that Lahaina is running pretty often out of food. But this is only what I heard. I need to have a look at. And now, yeah, it's really hot out there, and it's so funny because it some people went really fast to say that it's climate change, but I talking with residents, no one say like this information. They just say like, Hawaii have so many microclimate, so many, and it's changed all the time. And it's just, we are just used to it. And bushfire is happening all the time. And I think like using the climate change is such a political tool that.
Well, especially I was reading, I don't know, in a few places where they said it was an invasive species of brush that might burn more easily, that has been introduced to Hawaii, or it might be the same type of forest mismanagement in terms of not clearing the brush that you saw in California. But the reflexive climate change is the very convenient situation now.
It's true what you're saying, because in Hawaii, there is multiple non-native grass as plant who are highly inflammable, who are coming from some place in Africa or some other places, and they know it, but these species are spreading really, really fast. So now they are stuck with a different kind of vegetation that they used to find in that island way back in the history. And it's why people need to understand that if you change the vegetation and the geography, as like now there is like a lot of agricultural land that are abandoned, that drier the climate too. So it's just like the impact of introducing it or changing the landscape that make the place probably more at risk. But also like the infrastructure power line need really to be checked, because it seems like it's just horrible how like deficient this power line are.
Let me bring up one thing here, Alexa, because it's nice to see what people are doing here. Sheescoat S says, amazing interview. Canada loves Alexa. Thank you. And then we got Fraser McBurney says, I donated 5.5% of my monthly income to help to get the rebels to Maui, and it was my pleasure. Watch them report from Maui. They are doing a good job. Thank you, Rebel and Viva Frei. And I'll read the others afterwards.
Thank you.
Alexa, I'd say Godspeed. See what you can get out there. The question's going to be triggered by terrible power lines, incompetence, aggregate incompetence all around. The stories to look into that people are very interested in are the offers to buy up the devastated land now, who's making them, whether or not it's true, and the corruption with the bloody Red Cross and those institutions which can't be trusted any more than you can throw them. Somebody wanted, hold on, who was it? It was Kenzie. Kenzie67 says, can we get a view of the area? Is there smoke in the distance anymore or no?
No. So as I say, I cannot go close to Lahaina. Anyway, there is no network there. I will really show you if I can. I don't know if you see, but I'm actually close to the water. Okay. But they are the camp there.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see that.
But I cannot go any further because I respect the privacy of the people. And they also asked me to not go too close to film, because there is like some people who have like PTSD, and they actually been through so many horrible things. So But now, right now, I'm at a recharge station for free Wi-Fi, and I'm with like the part of the community. I'm actually in Onokawai. It's actually a small town, about 10 minutes drive from Lahaina. But when you go to Lahaina, it's just like it's just ashes. It's just ashes. There is nothing else to see. It's just burning houses, burning cars, and I know that I wanted to go close to the military, but the military, like, there is just like bodies. They didn't search like much of the place. I think they have like maybe a quarter now that they did search for bodies. So right, and by the way, this is another like side of the story. So now they claim that probably the land will be toxic.
Oh yeah, okay.
Toxic, and the water, you cannot drink the water because of the toxicity, and because they say that the building that was built, they are old building that burned down, and they were built with asbestos, and asbestos is something that is toxic, and they say that there is so other chemical products, especially in the paint and other like part of the houses. And so now they think that they need to decontaminate the land, as well as probably the water. So this is another part of the story. Do they will like claim now that, and this is just like something that I'm thinking about. It's nothing proof that it's just my opinion. But do they will claim later on that that land is too toxic?
Yeah, is the government going to have to expropriate the land? It's an amazing thing, actually, when you think about it. In the days after 9/11, they were telling everyone in New York that the air was good, clean, and no worries. Now that and you know, when everybody said that can't be and it caused cancer and all sorts of problems, in was it Pennsylvania where they had the train disaster just recently? Again, you know, like no issue here. Toxic, can't go back. Government might have to expropriate the land.
Yeah.
All right, Alexa, thank you. And I'd say enjoy. You're not there for a honeymoon or for a vacation. It's the most beautiful place on earth, and it's a source of devastation and sorrow for a population of Lahaina was 13,000, and now it's basically going to be a former city, and see how many people died.
It's really like something, the most like outrageous like disaster that happened to them like so far. They used to have like hurricanes, tsunami, who are devastating part of the island, but this time it's just like something that seems to be able to avoid with the proper installation in the proper way to be prepared for this kind of disaster. It seemed like they were not prepared at all.
Oh, and just so incompetent. But then, you know, they're so incompetent, but they're going to like skirt away from the incompetence by making fun of people who come to conspiracy theory conclusions. Whatever, they're going to like make fun of the 15-minute city people, the government expropriation, the billionaires acquiring the land theory. They'll make fun of those people, and then in so doing allow themselves to skirt around their own incompetence or overt malice, negligence, criminal negligence. But something tells me this is going to get a little more attention than it's not going to fade into oblivion.
Nope.
So, and you're down there with Rebel until Monday. So, where can people find? Where are you going to be putting up your reports? It's going to be on the Truth About Maui and your Twitter handle.
My Twitter handle and on Instagram from Rebel will be on it too.
Okay. And your Instagram handle is The Voice Alexa, because your last name, for those who don't know, Lavoie is literally the voice in French. So.
Yeah.
Alexa?
So Instagram, it's Alexa__Lavoie.
Okay. Awesome. I'll put up all the links in there anyhow. Be safe, obviously. Get the truth and let everybody know what's going on.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and come to Florida one of these days.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Anytime.
Awesome. See you soon.
Ciao.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, that's it. Now, by the way, when she said, when she was saying that one of the people that she asked questions to burnt her, it was her aunt. For anybody who might have thought she said her hand, Alexa is French Canadian, has a bit of an accent, and so some of the words come out. This is not. I'm not making fun at all. It was just literally she said that someone's aunt had burnt up in the house, and they were traumatized. So that's what's going on in Hawaii, people. And Monday, I'm going to have maybe another guest who knows also might have some more insights into Hawaii. But I'm going to bring up one story here. The AP fact check. They're out. They're out already. They're out real quick. Like conspiracy theories falsely tie the Maui wildfires, to smart cities and tech conferences. Let's hear what AP has to say. Claim. Maui hosted a conference about making the entire island into a, quote, smart city in January and will host another summit next month about using artificial intelligence to govern the island, proving recent wildfires were deliberately set to transform the ideas into reality. Do you notice how this is phrased? This is phrased in a way that it could never possibly be true as phrased. Did they host a conference about turning Maui into a smart city? That's one. Just check that fact, Associated Press. Fact-checking, fake fact-checkers. Did they host that conference? I think the answer is going to be yes to that. Are they hosting another conference about artificial intelligence in next month? Just let me know. Maybe they're not going to do it anymore. That's second fact. And then the proving the wildfires are connected is a matter of opinion. Let's just see how they do this. False. The Hawaii International Conference on System Sciences in January was not about turning Maui into a, quote, smart city. Oh, wordsmiths of the devil. What was it about? It's an annual gathering focused on emerging issues in the information technology sector globally. Oh, okay. Next month. So there was a conference in the past, and there is one next month. Hold on. Excuse me. Next month's Hawaii Digital Government Summit similarly is not specifically focused on using AI on Maui, but about how governments across the state can better adapt emerging technologies. It also takes place on another Hawaiian island, not Maui. Oh, so the first half of the fact check is in fact true. There was a conference on system sciences in January. There's another one coming up next month, not in Maui, but in Hawaii, about digital. Okay, good. That's the facts. As authorities continue to probe what sparked the wildfires in Maui this month, social media users are suggesting government officials have long been planning to raise the island in order to realize their vision of a so-called smart city. You know what I have to do about this, actually? I'm going to just archive this afterwards. Many are attempting to connect the dots between the deadliest blaze in the country in more than a century to efforts to incorporate digital and renewable technologies into everyday life. The poster, okay, we can skip some of that. What they don't talk about is in January how they had a smart city conference to turn Maui into an entire smart island, changing everything to electric renewables. That's the claim. So what's also interesting is next month in Hawaii, they'll be hosting another digital government summit. Okay, fine. But the posts not only misrepresent the concepts of smart cities, oh, okay, thanks, and 15-minute cities, but also make false assertions about the conferences themselves. Smart cities generally refer to communities that utilize new technology. Thanks, okay. The conference in Hawaii, meanwhile, are broad in scope. Oh, okay, so they're not only about smart cities or 15-minute cities. They're broader. There's no truth to the horrendous assertion that the fires were deliberately set to raise the historic town of Lahaina, which was the first capital of the Hawaiian kingdom. Okay, thanks. They weren't deliberately set. They might have been accidentally set and then exacerbated through human negligence with a happy coincidence that you get to start tabula rasa, at the Hawaiian International Conference on System Sciences in January. Thousands of researchers presented their work on a wide range of information technology issues, not just on smart city. Oh, so they did do it on smart city concepts, but other stuff as well. Thanks, AP. Nearly 1,500 papers were submitted, yada, yada, yada. About a dozen were related to smart cities. Oh, so there is truth to the claim that they had a conference in January about smart cities in Maui. Okay. We don't need to go through all of this. They're just a bunch of wordsmiths for the devil. What's more, the upcoming summit, which has since posted a statement rejecting the false claims on its website, is not even happening in Maui. Okay. The annual gathering is in Honolulu. Some posts also falsely conflate a program called Jumpstart Maui with the two conferences. But the 6-year, $30 million joint effort between the Japanese and Hawaiian governments wrapped up in 2017 after building roughly a dozen quick charge stations for electric vehicles on Maui, among other renewable investments. There's so much incorrect in these posts. Bertolini said, I don't even know where to start. Well, start by confirming the facts that are true. Okay, it's going to queue it up. I'm going to keep that just so that we can actually archive that, because much of that might prove to be more true than AP fact check is confirming.